All right, yes, hello. Today what we're going to do is we're going to create colloidal gold using the electrolysis. What this will do is it will create nanoparticles in the solution of distilled water. Make sure that when you're using water, that is all that's in here right now, is that you use distilled water, right? Make sure you use distilled water whenever you're going to make anything that is going to be used in this electrolysis process. You don't need to add any sort of salt. You don't need to add any sort of vinegar. You don't need to add any sort of electrolyte. You don't need to add electrolytes to this for this process to occur. So you need to have your battery packs. Your battery pack can be hooked up from positive, negative, positive, negative. So you just hook up this one is the negative right here. Hook up the negative, positive, negative, positive, right? And you just keep going and you hook them up in that way. And then it boosts the output voltage to the cumulative amount, which I'm getting about 137 volts, measured across 16 9-volt batteries. Okay, I might need to delete this at some point and reuse this at another point, so don't feel too bad about that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take these electrodes off so we can turn this off here. And so all I'm going to do is I put in, I don't know if you can use the measuring cup here, the amount here. It's probably just above 200 milliliters of distilled water. And I have an electrode with an alligator clip connected here and another electrode connected to another alligator clip here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the electrode that goes from here to here, and I'm going to hook it up to our batteries here. One end on that end, and then we take the other end over here and connect it on that end. Okay? So now we have both of our electrodes hooked up. Now all it will take is a little bit of time, and you should see, and move these a little bit closer together. Now if you get them too close, you'll probably see it spark, right? It'll probably go like this. Hold on. Yeah, well, I don't really know if I should do it because only a moron would do this. Okay, only a moron would do this. All right. Oh, it's not even letting me get close to it. Okay, but it's fine. Because that's not really the point. So the point is that when you hook these electrodes up like this, I don't know if you can see it, but it should start bubbling. I don't know if you can actually see the process here happen, but it should start bubbling. Do you see those bubbles? That's actually the electrolysis happening right before our eyes. Oh, do you see that mist, that fuzz, yeah, do you see that? Yeah, that is the electrolysis happening before our eyes. And what this does is it puts the gold nanoparticles inside the solution of the distilled water, and then you can use it for any practical purposes. This is how simple it is. It doesn't require anything amount. You can use your mathematical formulas if you like to determine how much you'd like. The longer you leave it here in the solution, or the more battery power, the more power generation that you put in there, the more it will actually create more nanoparticles. I picture at this current rate, you could get a reasonable parts per million by leaving it in there for no more than, let's say, 30 minutes. If you need a more dense cluster of nanoparticles to exist in the water, you can leave it on there for longer, an hour, 2 hours. But I guarantee you you're not going to get much more effect, and you have to be very careful with this stuff because it can become dangerous. I recommend not consuming a very large amount. Make sure you treat it like taking maybe 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters or milliliters of this liquid in this aqueous solution for whatever that you might have an infection for. Okay, so this is basically the most basic way to provide you the information that I discussed earlier, and that you should be able to make this yourself if you so choose. You can even replace this with gold. Instead of being gold, you can use silver, copper, or any sort of or platinum. I recommend using only silver or gold if you're going to use it for like taking it orally, or using it for any sort of I have to stress this enough. If you use silver, do not drink a lot of it. You'd have to drink gallons of it, but I recommend that you don't do that. Okay? Very well. So this should be the easiest thing in the world to do. Yes. And if you'd like, I could use it for more. Yeah, there's. For storage, sure. Storage is important. Storage, you're going to want a glass container that is dark, and you're going to want to keep it out of the sun. The darker you keep it in the cool and the more fixed temperature you keep it in a cool, dark place, the longer it will last. I would say the top shelf life is maybe about a month at best, depending on how the particles settle in here, because it will likely even attach to the glass. It'll probably attach to the ends on the glass here, and it'll probably not be that useful anymore because you're not getting the gold particles into your immune system anymore. Okay? All right. All right, so I'm going to let this go for a little bit. I'll probably have the electrolysis completed by then. There's not really much to watch. It's not really going to show you much anything else, but I guarantee you if you taste the water, you'll get a metallic sort of taste to it, and you're not going to really notice any much different other than the fact that it has an unusual, it doesn't really have any different, any odor or anything. Okay, we'll look at it again now that it's had a little bit more time, I guess. You can see how it's kind of bubbling there. Yeah, do you see how it's like just moving those particles from one side to the other? Exactly. All right. So that's probably where we're going to end this. And I hope that anybody who wants to try their own electrolysis, to make sure that they follow proper procedure, make sure that they are doing it under supervision, and they have the correct dosage and not to exceed the recommended amount. Okay?